you guys. I wanted to do this live video because, like I said, I'm trying to get a lot of this content out the way because I got a lot to do. So I'm trying to give you guys as much content as possible because, like I said, depending how long it takes to edit and put together these videos and load, it just takes sometimes a lot of time. It take anywhere from 20 minutes to a damn hour to load a 5 to 10 minute video. And like I said, I'm trying to get out as much content as possible. But apparently, after you hear this video, you're really not going to feel sorry for Jim Jones because Jim Jones is a hypocrite. And at the end of the day, this is just flat out just wrong what he did. Now, apparently, it appears after Jim Jones was complaining about being ignored at the Gucci store for at least an hour. Basically, when he started to complain, they said that one of the managers that came out that tried to assist Jim Jones happened to be black. And Jim Jones didn't want to speak to him. Jim Jones was talking about, oh, I want to speak to a higher up. So this just goes to show you what type of person Jim Jones is. Now, I know eventually some Jim Jones groupie gonna come here, some Jim Jones fanny boy. Oh man, when you talking bad on Jim Jones, you wouldn't say this to a face. Why the fuck wouldn't I? Where do you guys be getting this shit from that people be scared of these damn rappers and shit? Like we don't have a street background. You really have no fucking idea what I used to do in the streets and who I'm affiliated with. Let me explain something to you motherfuckers. I grew up around drug dealers, pimps, hoes, all that type of shit. That's my environment. Okay? That's all I seen. Okay? I'm gonna tell you right now, I bet you I done more dirt than your average rapper. Okay? But I'm not gonna tell my business. But I'm just letting you know I'm with it. Okay? And no, I'm not sending out a challenge. I'm not sending out none of that shit. I'm just making it known. Okay? Cuz I know how a lot of you groupies come on here talking that goofy stuff. But I'm just going to say this need to be put out there. So Mr. Jim Jones, who complaining about being racially profiled, didn't even want to talk to a person from the community that he claims to be part of. He shrugged them off. He basically didn't want to talk to a brother. And this need to be said. This need to be said. So once again, I further don't feel sorry for Jim Jones. When a brother came out trying to fix the situation, he didn't want to talk to him. No, he wanted to talk to somebody that wasn't black. But keep in mind, this is the same dude that wanted to fight people when this whole thing with when T.I. was telling black people to temporarily boycott Gucci. You had people like Jim Jones and Future, Mr. I don't know what a condom looks like. Mr. I'll get you, you know what I'm saying? You had people like Future and other people attacking the black community, Floyd Mayweather, because I haven't forgot what Floyd Mayweather did. When a black man sat up there saying, come on, Floyd, don't do that. And then Floyd started talking that shit about, oh, I'm a follower. I'm a leader, not a follower. And keep in mind, Floyd Mayweather tried to diss Colin Kaepernick. But we all know how Floyd is. Because I know when Floyd sees this video, Floyd probably going to make that phone call and say, don't let him in. Don't credential him. Because, Floyd known for doing that. Floyd known for blackballing people. If you call him out. And he won't do an interview with you neither. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I remember what Floyd did. When Floyd put that video out and then, talked to, when he was on TMZ filmed it. Oh, I'm a leader, not a follower. I would never follow nobody like Floyd Mayweather. Oh, we finna go spend some Gucci. Oh, well, they work with Dapper Dan. Psh. So that justified them making a flat out racist shirt disrespecting black people. And then he posted him wearing Gucci gear. So basically, he was thumbing his nose up at the black community. And like I said, whenever something happened to Floyd, when he's discriminated against, here he come. He's off and on with that inconsistent blackness. So I remember that. And like I said, everybody knows when I first got on YouTube, I was a big supporter of Floyd. But when Floyd started pissing on the black community, thumbing his nose up at the black community, lying on the black community, saying that we didn't buy his fights and that we wasn't messing with him and that only Mexicans was buying his fights. Bullshit. You a motherfucking lie, Floyd. Black people was straight up supporting you. And then when you pulled that all lives matter crap, when you were the same ones talking about that you got racially profiled trying to get into your own house in Las Vegas, and people called that out, and then you gonna turn around and like I said, that's what these celebrities do. They'll sit up there and undermine us when we ride for them, and then when something serious happened to them, then here they come. I need the black community's help. So it's like this. You didn't did that too many times, so we can't trust you. Then you was openly mad about the draw that happened with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder in the first fight. But nevertheless, this isn't about Floyd, but this is about people that be pulling this stuff. For real, you know what? Let's let this sink in, right? Let's really look at Jim Jones. First of all, his name is Jim Jones. You know who he named himself after? Y'all do know what the real Jim Jones did. He took a whole bunch of mainly black people to Guyana, gave them poisonous Kool-Aid, and wiped them out. Mass suicide, murder. And then for the people that was trying to get away who didn't want to drink the Kool-Aid, he was shooting them. And he named himself after a dude like that. We should be suspicious of him just by his name alone. Let's just keep it a buck here. Let that sink in. He named himself Jim Jones. He named himself Jim Jones after a white man that murdered hundreds of black people. Let that sink in, you guys. See, I tell the truth. Tell Jim Jones to go. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. but I want that to sink in. I want that to sink in. He named himself after Jim, but he called himself a black man. But you named yourself after, for real, let that sink in. You named yourself after a white man that had a cult that took people to Guyana and made them drink poisonous Kool-Aid. Hundreds of people. Go Google the images of all them damn body bags. Go Google the image of all them damn body bags. Those were primarily black people. See, nobody wants to talk about that. The man called himself Jim Jones. He named himself after a murderous, fake preacher cult leader that took thousands of black people with him. For real, let that sink in. So this would be no surprise, once again, him throwing a black person under the bus and disrespecting a black man who tried to come out and help his ass. But he complaining about he being racially profiled, but then he didn't want a black person to help him. I don't want to talk to you. Wow. Stockholm syndrome like a mug. Like I say, this is why black people are in last place right now. You bragged about, and then due to the fact that you want to spend 29,000 at the Gucci store, where Gucci then disrespected you and disrespected your so-called people on a regular basis. How many times? How many times? Like I said before, Gucci they made it clear they don't want black people wearing their shit. But Jim Jones, he want to talk about, man, I'm gonna buy some Gucci. And if you got a problem with it, you know where to find me. Man, nobody ain't thinking about you. Like I said before, so you want to fight people over for the right to wear Gucci. Do you know how sick that sounds? But then again, like I said, I'm not perfect. You know, at the end of the day, even though Michael Jordan did some questionable things, and Michael Jordan thumbed his nose at the black community for years. I wear Jordans, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Never said I was a perfect person, but damn, we all can, hey, say what you want to say about Michael Jordan and Jordan brand. They don't see color when it comes to people buying their stuff. I can tell you that right now. You walk in a Nike store, them people gonna run to you. They don't give a damn what color you are. Nike won't. Nike do not see color when it comes to profit. So that's the difference. So that's for you super militant black people that's gonna try to come on here and eventually talk that shit. You already been cooked. You already been ethered. Nike ain't never told black people they didn't want their money, but Gucci has. Uh, Burberry kind of did it. What's the other company that kind of did it? I can't think of that other company, that other high end company that then did it. Now Louis, as far as Louis go, Louis been okay. Fendi been okay. Um, Coach is cool. I ain't gonna lie, I buy that stuff occasionally. But at the end of the day, I still will endorse and spend my money with a black business or a black designer. I'm gonna make this very clear, and I'm gonna do a solo video about this. Any black clothing lines, shoes, all that kind of stuff, hit me up. This is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. Let's work something out. You know what I'm saying? Let's work something out. I will be more than happy to endorse a black business, a black shoe company, a black clothing company. You know, remember, I'll work with the lady, Skin by Ari. I got to bring her back on here one day. I got to talk to that sister. Remember, I worked with her. Company is doing very well. So shout out to Skin by Ari. By the way, she got a website. That's a black-owned beauty product company. They have products for men and women. So I'm gonna bring Miss Ari back on one day. And by the way, I didn't ask for no free shit. I probably could have got it, but I bought shit from her. I spent my money. So you black-owned businesses, let's work together. You know what I'm saying? If you really serious about promoting your product, you got something you want to promote, get at me. I'm good for it. People know me. I've been doing this for a minute. I practice what I preach. But yeah, getting back to Jim Jones, like I said, this man is a flat out hypocrite. You hollered about being racially profiled, but then you bypassed the black man who wanted to help your ass. You didn't want to talk to him? No, you wanted to talk to Mighty Whitey. Oh, okay, I get it. You wanted to talk to somebody with the Mayonnaise Nation. You wanted to talk to a clear person. I've been thinking about doing my own merchandise. I've been kind of working on that. But that's later on. That's later on down the line. You know what I'm saying? I got to get more followers. When I hit that 10,000, 20,000 mark, then we'll discuss it. But right now, I want to wait till I have a certain amount of subscribers. And by the way, I should be at 10,000 subscribers by now. Everybody know I got one of the realest channels on YouTube. A lot of people then shied away from me because I'm honest and I tell the truth. Best of my abilities. I don't follow a script. Like I say what's on my mind and I mean it. But getting back to Jim Jones, man, his name alone speaks volumes about him. It says a lot about him and about his personality. I remember when True Life aired him out about that name, and I really didn't think much of it. But yeah, like I said before, I really could make an argument that Jim Jones shouldn't even really be considered black. But you know what? You know what? Because we could really make an argument. I mean, we really could make an argument about should we consider Jim Jones black? That's a video within itself. I mean, if you want to get technical, but I don't want to make this about the whole so-called Afro Latino thing. I don't really want to do that, but we can make an argument about it. No, clear person. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said before, we can make a real argument about Jim Jones about, like I said, that dude is really ass backwards, begging people to take your money that don't want it, that don't really want it. Just because you got money, like I said, people, I keep trying to tell you, people don't value the black dollar. There are some people that don't want our money, and Gucci is one of it. Gucci is one of the companies that don't really want our money. They didn't make their stuff for us. You know, I gotta, and I want to say this about fashion. Like I said, I know one of the things is about black people. We all kind of get caught up in that stuff. When we run across some money, we want to brag about how much we paid for something because it makes us feel like we keeping up with the Joneses and all that stuff. But to a certain degree, is that a trap? To a certain degree, that's, I mean, should we look at that as a trap? That's all I'm saying. And like I said, I've been caught up in that. I've been caught up in that. It happens every once in a while because we've been made to feel like we shouldn't have that kind of stuff. And then at the same time, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You know, the mentality that we have. And like I said, I'm guilty of that. Like I said, I never said I was perfect. You know, remember, we got on LeVar Ball when he came out of nowhere with his $600 sneakers. And we was like, dude, where the hell you get off trying to charge black people $600 for them sneakers? And, you know, at the end of the day, I got on him. But then again, his big mouth fucked it up because he started talking so stupid to where you didn't want to spend money with him. When people asked him, well, why are you charging so much for your shoes? Well, if you don't buy, you ain't no big baller then. Okay. So we was like, all right, bro, the hell with you. You blew it right then and there. He couldn't even come up with an intelligent answer to justify why he was selling his shoes for that much money. And then due to the fact that it was taking people 6 months to a year to get their shoes. So like I said, once again, sometimes black people blow it for themselves. Some people was trying to rally behind him. And then Shannon Sharp said, man, I ain't even received my shoes yet. It kind of came across as a con. Then he didn't have no customer service number. So like I said before, I'm guilty of that. I think at the end of the day, I think it should be a two. I mean, I think it should be a two-way street. I do think we should value each other. So like I said, if a black person want to make high-end clothing, I understand that. But then if it's a dude that want to make what you call affordable clothing, that's cool too. But at the end of the day, if you a black person that want to make high-end clothing and you want to compete with Gucci, don't knock people, you know, who when they explain say, well, you know, it's high end. You know, we just trying to keep up with the Gucci's. But we not knocking people if you don't want to buy it. But if you can't afford it and you want to buy, then that's what I would say. I'm not gonna say, well, if you can't afford it, then don't you know what I'm saying? The hell with your broke black ass. You got to come up with intelligent answers. You got to convince people why should we spend with you instead of the other companies. But like I say, we do suffer from Stockholm syndrome. That's fact. Like I said, I'm guilty of that. I never said that I was perfect. I made that mistake, but like I said, LeVar Ball sounded like such a damn fool when he came out because, like I said, Ticket exposed him on several occasions because he just would be talking like a moron. He was talking like a unintelligent, uneducated moron. If he had came up with a proper campaign, I think people would have rallied behind him. And then it's like this. You should have said, hey, okay, if you don't want to pay that much for those shoes, we have some more affordable shoes. You know? Yeah, like I said, it's sort of like, I mean, Kanye is a billionaire. Where there's a will, there's a way. At the end of the day, how about this? Start your own fashion show. Kanye has the capital. Kanye is, I'm gonna be honest with you, Kanye is a billionaire. Kanye is a billionaire. At the end of the day, he gonna have to do it himself. Kanye got the resources to where he could start his own fashion show and model his own stuff. But then again, like I said, Kanye, it's kind of hard to support Kanye because Kanye then said some ignoramus stuff. I gotta be honest with you, I've never owned a pair of Yeezys in my life and don't plan on owning no pair of Yeezys. One, I just don't like them. I just don't like them. They're just not no good designs. So I'm just keeping it a buck. At the end of the day, I done said this on several occasions. We gotta start putting out our own stuff. Even when what's the face, even though he ain't technically black, even when who had them shoes that you used to could buy at Kmart, protege shoes? There was some nice kicks. I bought a couple of pairs. Um, I don't know if it was Fat Joe, but I think somebody black was behind that. And I bought a couple of pairs. And just like when they had the Starberry shoes, the Stephon Marbury shoes, I'm talking about when they was at they height. Back in 2006, I bought like 30 pairs of those Starberries because one, they was dirt cheap. They was dirt cheap. And they had and they was dirt cheap and they looked nice. So once again, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, I bought it. I bought some of those shoes. I bought some. So like I said, I was practicing what I was preaching back then, even before YouTube. So I'm just saying. I mean, I bought like 20 or 30 pair of those Starberries, and actually, they was actually some of the stuff that they came out with was nice. They had the Starberry stuff was good. I mean, $16 shoes. And I'm gonna tell you something. This is real talk. And I'm gonna tell you the truth about the Starberry shoes. People was buying them Starberries, you know. And I know LeBron James made that comment. You got to understand, LeBron James was a kid. LeBron James was barely 20 years old. I know LeBron James said, well, when they asked LeBron would he ever come up with some cheap shoes, some affordable shoes, he said, well, at Nike, we hold our shoes to high standards and all that kind of stuff. And LeBron was a kid, and I know LeBron, if he could go back, he didn't know no better. But like I said, I bought hella pair of those Starberries. And they was some cool shoes too. And people was buying them shoes. And I remember they was exclusively at Steve and Barry's. And it was funny, Steve and Barry started opening up stores everywhere. Those Starberries were selling because everybody in Oakland was rocking them. And then abruptly, all of a sudden, secretly, out of nowhere, Steve and Barry's went out of business. And you know why? And I'm gonna tell you, you know why Stephen Barry's went out of business? Because somebody secretly bought them. They bought all the stock and they bought them out. And they made them sign a non-competitive agreement. And you know what company that was that did that. I ain't got to say they damn name. You know who it was. So you know who it was. I'm just telling y'all some facts because I know how business works. Stephen Barry's was opening up everywhere. That was selling that strawberry gear. Then all of a sudden, they just abruptly announced they was going out of business. Like I said, somebody bought them out, and we know who it was. Yeah. So I'm just saying. Yeah. What's up, Tori? So, like I said before, um, getting back to Jim Jones, sorry I got off topic a little bit. Jim Jones, I'm not finna holler about whether he should be canceled and all that stuff. That's up to y'all. But Jim Jones is a flat out hypocrite. This man talked about being racially profiled at the Gucci store, but when they sent the black man out to talk to him, he didn't want to talk to the black manager. He didn't want to talk to the damn black manager. He wanted to hire up. And how he know that black manager wasn't going to help him. Now that wasn't good enough for him. He wanted the white manager or the non-black manager. Go figure. But anyway, you guys, appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate the love. You know what I'm saying? Keep watching. I'm out.